What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. My name is Adam Palmer. I am your host. This is the Hobby News Daily Morning Minute. Today is Friday, June 27th. And on today's episode of the podcast, we are going to be talking a little bit about the NBA draft and some updates from yesterday's episode. All right, so we have some updates from the draft coverage and just what Panini has been doing on social the past couple days as we have had, like I said, the NBA draft. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting was that there the draft was going on and we were like the fifth or sixth pick, and there was no announcements about any of the players being drafted. That seemed sort of odd to me. I mean, I checked the social media and I checked Twitter, which maybe it was just on Twitter, but I was looking at some of the tweets, and it was like we were in the fifth pick of the draft, and it was like their last tweet was like 5 hours ago, which obviously wouldn't be about the draft, and it wasn't anything about the draft. I thought that was kind of interesting. As you know, I don't know, some of their top players for the next 4 months are getting drafted. They did start tweeting out players getting drafted, and I am wondering if it's because there are like exclusives that Panini doesn't have potentially. Like when Cooper Flag gets drafted first overall, in my opinion, you'd think the first thing that they would be tweeting about would be like cards or something like that. I mean, Topps was on top of it, obviously, because or not obviously necessarily, but they were on top of it, and they were tweeting out Topps Now cards, which one thing I did notice was that they didn't have them. They had them in the suits, which is not super uncommon for Topps to do with some of these draft cards, and especially they don't have the license yet. So we know that they're not going to be coming out with any type of licensed product, at least until October. Are they going to do any Photoshop cards? Maybe I don't know. I guess it's like I said on yesterday's episode. I don't know what the strategy is or what the plan is. But for Panini, I think it's pretty clear what the plan is. Now I've asked around, and no one seems to really know if the WNBA license is connected to the NBA license. From what I've heard, it isn't. So that means Panini is going to continue to make WNBA cards. And that's what a lot of their promotion was yesterday, because they put out a video of Caitlin Clark signing a lot of like high-end cards. And from the high-end cards, like I said, there was National Treasures, there was Flawless, there was Immaculate. Those were kind of the three big ones that I saw that Caitlin Clark was signing. The other big thing is that there was the rookie card logo on these cards. So what that says to me is that we're going to be waiting on the Paige Becker's draft class to get any of her products. I don't know for when, because I mean these are three of Panini's biggest products, and they're putting out a promotional video saying that they've made them and that they've signed them, and then also put the downtown, that was the other thing. They were putting downtowns in the cases, so it looked like it was a combination of last year and this year's products. But like I said, with NT and Flawless and Immaculate, those are three of Panini's biggest products for basketball, for football, and now presumably for WNBA, which is, like I said, I think that's what they're going to be riding. They're going to be riding on the WNBA for quite some time if the WNBA is not attached to the NBA license, which I feel like though that type of news would have probably already come out if Topps was getting WNBA. That would be front page news of Topps. They would be screaming that from the mountaintops. But for now, it's going to be just Panini that is making these WNBA cards, and we're going to be getting in my opinion, three of the biggest products from a high-end perspective. Obviously, Prism, Donruss, Select, those products are going to be big for like base cards and cards that people want to get graded. And people want to get these cards graded too. But the high-end RPA, crazy good patches, I guess I'm not sure what the I know it's Logo Man for the NBA. I guess I'm not 100% sure what they call it in the WNBA. But there is a like logo patch card that I saw. So that's probably going to be in some one of ones. We're going to get some this means we're going to get like a one of one National Treasures Caitlin Clark, which I think is going to have a big impact on the hobby because for women's sports, this has to be probably one of the first times we've seen a women's product for National Treasures or any of the three products that I mentioned. They just debuted Prism in 2020, if you want to go back that far. So we're still in the early processes of Panini getting these products and making high end products. I mean, this is going to be, I feel like this is probably the first run of women's high end products. And I think it's probably smart for Panini to do it with Caitlin Clark in that draft class. I think I wish I well not I think I wish that they had come out with this product a couple months ago, like during the off season. Like I don't know, but obviously Panini's been going through it, so I'm not going to sit here and drag them through the mud completely, saying like, oh, they need to get these products out. But it's been kind of par for the course over the past year or so that products have just been delayed and that there's really no rules of when products can come out. And I mean, honestly, if I'm a sports card company and it's clear that there's no rules from the Players Association whether you come out with the product when the player is a rookie or when they're not a rookie, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, I want the cards coming out when they are a rookie. On the other hand, if you're the sports card company, like that's it feels like they're just abiding by the rules here. And I don't know, it could even be a scenario where maybe Panini didn't know whether they were going to have this license and that's why they didn't come out with this product, or they're just like, hey, this is going to be our big product now. I think that they still have some soccer licenses, but again, like I said, it's just they're moving forward, they are going to have to figure a lot of things out. And I think with the World Cup coming up, that's probably going to be a big product. I hope that they do a lot of promotion around that because that's one of the licenses that they have. I believe it's FIFA. I know there's like a ton of different licenses for soccer, whether it's Premier League or it's UEFA or it's the FA Cup or it's the MLS or any of these things. Panini has the opportunity, which the World Cup, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the U.S. that's a whole nother conversation, I think, for another day here with how unfortunately not good the U.S. has been doing and sort of the drama, which maybe some people are sitting here and saying finally there's some drama in the U.S. camp, but that's not part of today's episode here. Today's episode is kind of focusing on sort of the drafting, what happened with the draft coverage, and then also these cards, right? Because I think this is going to be a big deal, and they haven't. I haven't seen at least any announcements of when these products are going to come out. But overall, I think it's definitely a good thing that we're going to see some of these higher end products for WNBA. Because for years we've seen NBA and they've been good as long as the rookie class is good. But I think for the 2024 rookie class for WNBA, it's probably one of the best rookie classes we're going to see in the WNBA. I don't know if it's going to be an ever type thing, but like the high end of that draft is so good. 2025 was fine with Paige Becker as obviously being the star rookie from that product. But Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, all of these names, they're going to be the stars of the 2024 class, obviously, because that's when they were drafted. But I think it's going to be interesting to see if there's ever going to be a draft class that is as good as that 2024 WNBA class, or if really they're going to be resting on the laurels of that class, the sports card companies, for years to come.